It's finally here.
It's finally here. This was long awaited.
It's about to be. It's 12.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to, I don't know, new people, new adventures, new experiences,
Yes.
new jobs, new houses.
Ooh.
Everything. 2025 is gonna be my year.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna be my year.
Did you say that every year?
No.
Melody Washington. Hey, rain down on me.
Ooh. You're glad that you accomplished. So, I started a PhD program, and so far it's been really good. I'm still looking at research areas. Moved to a completely different city. Like, I have to fly now. Like, I have to fly to come home.
First of all, in college, getting your bachelor's, computer science.
Yeah.
Computer science. But when I was talking about all the odds you defied, that was pretty much you being a black woman in a lot of spaces where
we're not prevalent in.
How has that been? And I feel like that's such an important topic to like walk in your purpose and to also say like I belong here and I can take up space.
Different things can be idols. It can be more than just people and things. It could be your mindset. Like, it could be your mindset.
Oh no, your mindset. Like I feel like today it's like, oh, like it's like that revenge culture or whatever. But it's like, no, you have to have that heal culture because you have to heal right.
Okay, something.
Today is mine. I told Satan to get thee behind. Victory today is mine. We are live. Yo, what's up? What's the deal? What is up? It's Ilani, yo. Everybody knows. Ooh.
Little song.
Oh, guys. So today, almost tomorrow.
What time is it?
I don't know. I thought you had your own, bro.
3 minutes till 2025. Let me set a timer for 3 minutes.
Hey, be like, hey Siri, set a timer for 11:59.
Hey Siri, set a timer for 11:59.
At this point, we might as well just
10 seconds, counting down.
how many?
A minute left before 2025. Oh.
We have to open it. Okay, guys. So, since this is an extremely special podcast, we have to open our Olipop because it's about to be the new year. What kind is it? Cream soda?
Yeah.
Okay, open it. Put it near the mic. Hey. We have our Olipop and we about to do cheers. Do we have the time?
It's still 11:59.
We need a countdown. How do we know?
It's about to be. It's 12.
Oh, that was fireworks! Happy New Year!
Happy New Year to, I don't know, new people, new adventures, new experiences,
Yes.
new jobs, new houses, new everything.
Yeah!
Fireworks helping us out.
25, literally. That's crazy. To open up 2025 like this is honestly so wild to like think about.
It's so great.
Like on a podcast.
I was
never
gonna literally do nothing today until you texted me, and I was like, yeah, I'll come.
She texted me, she was like, I'm on my way.
Yeah, I was like, I'm coming right now.
I was like, it's 2025.
2025. 2025 is gonna be my year.
Oh, wow.
It's gonna be my year.
Did you say that every year?
No.
Oh, okay. What makes this one your year?
I just feel like this year I'm letting a lot of the past stay in the past, not stay in the past, and when they come back up, it's like entertaining it a little bit, but I'm kind of done with that. Like, clean slate, keep the past in the past. I need to move towards my purpose.
Okay, we're gonna wait because we're gonna get back. We're gonna get deep into that, and I need to hear more. But let me introduce you first because this is important. So yes, literally, a woman that I knew I needed in my life, a sister in Christ, and an intelligent, God-fearing woman that can play almost any sport. Like literally, Melody from heaven, Melody Washington. Hey, rain down on me. Literally, but yeah. So Melody Washington.
Thank you for having me on your podcast.
No, thank you for driving and being like, I'm there. I'm on my way. No, like actually.
Yeah, like I'll be there now.
I'm gonna go get my pink outfit. Which one should I buy? Today. I got 2 options.
Starting a new year in pink with my friends.
Literally. I don't even wear pink like that. You know it's a new year for me.
And we talking about God at the beginning of the year.
So like I said, this is wild. And this is actually happening. So we, as we say, made it out the group chat.
For real, because it was in the chat for the longest time.
Not the podcast, let's be clear, because the podcast was
Podcast.
It
was supposed to be like, I think
this was supposed to be last year.
I think it was junior year. I think it was end of junior year.
Whoa.
So it's been in the chat for a year and some change.
Whoa. That's true.
Yeah.
Because we were like, no, we need to do the podcast. Or was it senior year?
Senior year, we were like, we really need to do the podcast. But junior year, like the end, we were like, we should do a podcast.
True.
And then senior year, we were like, okay, like, what should the name be? Like, what do we want to talk about? And I know you did some episodes, but now
it's like an actual thing. No, because this is true. We were like, no, we need to get on the podcast right now. We gotta let this stay. We gotta go.
It's finally here.
This was long awaited.
In 2024, 2025.
Yeah, but I feel like it really needed that like time to really plan. Because I feel like for me, when I get an idea or like God put something on my heart, I'm like, all right, let's do it. But this one was different. He was like, nah, not right now.
Yeah, and then also at the time, like we were cool, but we weren't like really cool.
Yeah, we had a lot going on. I feel like separately.
Yeah.
And then when we didn't, it was just like we did stuff together, but we had school. We had this, we had that. Yeah, so
it was like we were just like at that point we were just like acquaintances. Like, hey
girl, what you doing?
Now we're actually, I feel like, a lot closer than we were before.
Yeah, and we got to like build and like actually.
And like like testimonies, everything, like
sharing times and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, how are you feeling? What were you up to this time last year?
This time last year, I went to the crew conference. It was in DC. It was so much fun. I didn't really know anyone in that group because in our like group that we had, it was like a whole bunch of different schools, so I finally got to meet everybody together. And I was like, oh, okay, y'all are like cool. And it was fun. Like at first I was like, I'm just here, like, you know, but then like as the conference went on, I was like, oh wow, like this is pretty cool. So
that's good. What exactly is the conference for like people who don't know?
So the crew conference, it's I would say like young adult conference. You listen to sermons, you do praise and worship, you have workshops on different days, like, and then on the first day, at the end of, I think it was the sermon or like praise and worship or something that we had the first day, after everyone left, like someone played on the piano. and everyone was singing around it.
Oh no!
So good. It was so good.
I die for those type of moments.
Yeah, but then eventually someone came up and was like, people are trying to go to sleep. Like, we understand, like, yes, but people are trying to go to sleep.
They're like, we love God too, but no.
Yeah, but it was so much fun.
Yes, yeah, because other people do use the hotel.
Well, yeah, and the way that hotel was set up, like, there's rooms, like, you could see the rooms, like, it has curtains.
Which one? Where were y'all? In Philadelphia? Philadelphia, Washington D.C.
No, DC.
Oh,
It was Crystal City.
okay. I think I went to Maryland. But yeah, that's cool though. And then you like open up worship in the new year and the balloons fall. They're there right now.
Yes,
They're there right now.
I know, and I'm like,
We should have signed up.
we could have went with them. They would have let us come.
We should do it like 1 year we're both free. We should actually like go.
Go back, yeah.
When I went, that was life changing. This time last year, I was at my church in Nova, and we were doing worshiping into the new year, praying, and I was literally just walking without my shoes on, like worshiping. But then I got home and I was like fired up. I was like 2024, Jesus give me more. 2024, and then me getting knocked on the floor. And literally he did, because I feel like in 2023 a lot of things that the enemy did try to stop me, and I was like, all right, bet, you got it. Like, I let him win so many times. And then 2024 God gave me like a few words, and one was authority and declaration and another word. But he was trying to tell me, like, you have to take authority over your life, and like you have to like speak it, even if it's out loud, because like my thoughts would be louder than, like, I'll be like, yeah, I know the word and stuff, but I wouldn't like open the word in that moment and be like, I speak, like, you know, like literally, because God was like, if that's what you need to do, you need to do it. Because I used to think I was strong enough, I can do it. Like in the most tempting situation, I'm like, no, I believe in God. No, girl, you better run. Like, you better believe that he can help you when you leave that situation. Because, yeah. But anyways, so that was like the mode I was in. And now it's like full circle. Because I was thinking about this last year, but yeah, it's wild. Okay, so now I need your help.
Okay.
So I'm gonna spell out learn.
Okay.
And then, yeah, so it's gonna go like LEARN. Let's learn something new. So I want you to clap with me.
Okay, let's try this. Let's try this.
LEARN. Let's learn something new. Hey!
That was good.
So everyone has a story, gifts, talents, and strengths and weaknesses and passions. So in this jar includes some things that we're going to learn about you. And also in this jar right here.
Oh, okay.
And also Jesus continually learned about people and their stories. So now we're going to learn something about you. So in there is something special for you to pick out.
Okay.
Let's see what you got.
To the end of 2024, 4 things. Something you've learned how to do or in general. Something you're glad you accomplished. Something that you overcame. And something you learned about God.
To start off 2025. So start with number 1.
So yeah, end of 2024, you were okay. Now to 2025. Something that I learned how to do, or just in general, I have learned my place in people's lives. And I learned how to not take that all to heart and just realize, hey, we aren't as close as we used to be. Or, hey, I'm not as, close as I would like to be with you. And if you don't want to accept that, I'm not going to make you. And I have to be okay with that. I can't just...
No, because that's actually so good.
Yeah,
I feel like that's hard.
it's really hard, especially
hard.
with people that you think are so close to you, and you're like these are my people, and then you're like, wait, I'm an outsider, and they're inside the house. Oh, girl. Whew. Okay, something you're glad that you accomplished. So, I started a PhD program, and so far it's been really good. I'm still looking at research areas. Moved to a completely different city. Like, I have to fly now. Like, I have to fly to come home. I could drive, but that's like a 2-day trip. So, yeah, that's something that I did. I moved out on my own. I pay my own bills. I do stuff on my own. You know, shout out to my parents though. You know, if I ever need help, they will help me. So, you know, they got me. So yeah, that's something that I accomplished. Graduating and now starting a PhD program.
Yes! I'm so happy about that. Like, I'm gonna touch on that a little bit more after. So I'm gonna let you finish your little list.
Okay, third thing. Something that you overcame. Something that I overcame this year. I would say I overcame the fear of letting go completely to people. Because I can let someone go, but I'll always like leave the door cracked where it's not like I'm doing anything or I'm initiating anything, but I'll just leave it open so that they always know it's there still. I gotta close that door. Close it all. Put some chains. we need some like 4 or 5 locks on there.
Literally.
Close it up. It's not ever coming open ever again.
That's good. That's good. No, that's really good.
You know.
Yeah. You know. Yeah, that's really that's a big deal. That's a big deal because, yeah, like you said, that tiny crack is like, oh, like, just, it's fine, you know? You think it's just like a tiny crack until, no, it's like, slam the door shut. Slam the door shut. And it's not even, like, that's just how we're supposed, in general, even walking with Christ, it's like we try to babysit things that God's like, I have better for you. God's like, I have better for you. But then so we try to like hold on to it for like safety or like comfort or like peace. And it's like,
no, it's gotta go. It's gotta go. Because once that thing goes, I'm telling you, whatever God's telling you to let go, once you let go of that, you're gonna start either walking in your purpose, or he's gonna start putting things into place for you
that you never knew you needed.
And I seen that when at the time I had thought I let that person go, and I started seeing good things happen. I was like, oh, but then they came creeping back in, and I was like, oh. And then everything just went back. So you just gotta do what God is telling you. If God told you to go, go. If he tells you to stay, stay. You gotta just you gotta move when God says move.
Ooh, that's deep. Cause you gotta move when God says move.
If you don't, that could be detrimental. Not in the fact of your salvation, but just in the fact of you could have did so much more, but you didn't. But yeah, we just listen to God. Oh, one more question. Something you learned about God. He's always listening, even when you think that he's not. Like, this is so cliche, but sometimes I'll be like, God, where you at? Are you even listening to me for real? Next thing you know, my mom telling me something, or I happen to see something, I'm like, oh, okay, you still here?
I see you, God. I see you, God.
Yeah, like I see you guys. It's like I know you're here, but since we don't seek God to actually see him, we feel alone, and that's why we tend to think he's not there, but he's always there. That's what I wanted to say.
That's good. So I want to talk about, well, we kind of already talked about it, but I wanted to just touch on this real quick. And I wanted to talk about how we met. So
How it was on? I think it was online first.
okay, literally. So we went to the same college. So yes, so so I'm glad that you befriended me because I was like, I remember everybody hanging out with you because we have the most opposite personalities. Like no, but like yeah, you're very quiet.
Yeah, very quiet. Like
Quiet
I usually don't
and
speak
vocal.
until spoken to.
Quiet but vocal. Like you're quiet and gentle, but you do have a lot to say. And when you speak, it's like it means something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's me, y'all.
Good. Because it just reminded me, like, we've had so many moments where we just been like, we don't even have to say nothing, and it's just like, yeah, I'm gonna go in here real quick, because it's like, so many times I'm like, yeah, she's my sister, because it's just like so many times I'm just like, this girl, she over me, or sometimes I'm just like, okay, why do you have an attitude?
No, yeah, you used to think I always had attitude. I'm like, girl, I don't. I'm just.
What's wrong? You were like, I'm okay. No, but I can still read you, because I'll be like, yeah, she's ready to go, or I'll be like, yeah, she's not.
I mean, that's true. I definitely.
But I like that about you because you're honest with people. Like, you're honest with people with, like, I actually am not, I'm a step out. I'm not here for this. I'm actually pack up. Like, but in the most, like, chill way. And I actually love that because that's a strength.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm good now. I'm not doing that. Thank you.
That's something I really got better at, like, as college went on. But at first I was like, I should probably have left a long time ago. But, so, yes. Okay. So, back to what I said I was going to come back to. You really, really defy the odds. So, first of all, 2 volleyball players, which I love. And I would just watch y'all's games because college was like the first time I hadn't played volleyball for school, like when I came in, and I just would watch y'all and I was just like, girl, this girl is dominating. Like, you would dominate. So anyways, okay, first of all, you were outside hitter and you also were
Setter. I was setting outside ish, then right side, and I would also play back row because I was setting.
I've been back row a lot. Okay, that's why I was like, so which but what's your preferred
Setting. Yeah, that's my go-to. I'm a setter, y'all. I don't want to hit. I'll pass. Passing is fun.
But you're a good hitter. Like, you get over the net.
I would say I'm a good blocker.
True, because you have height.
I can kind of read the ball.
That's good. Setter, that's hard. And then also another way you defy the odds is after volleyball you went to soccer, and
Yeah, y'all.
that's impressive though, because when you were like, I'm gonna play soccer, and you were just so chill about it, you had your cleats and everything, and I was like, oh, you're about to play soccer? Everybody's
Yeah, like, no. So, y'all, let me tell y'all. So, I'm not gonna get into the whole story, but I played 3 years volleyball at our college, and then the last year I switched to soccer for my last year. And everyone thought, like, when I told people I'm not coming back, people were like, oh, okay, like, you're not coming back, but they thought I was coming back until I actually didn't come back, and I was starting to play soccer, and I was training with some people that I know. So yeah, I went to volleyball and then soccer.
Yeah, but that was impressive, and I feel like definitely I was just, first of all, I was like, yes. I was like, yes, you are about to play soccer. You are, and I'm gonna be at the games. And period. But I was like, wow, because first of all, you were one of the only black women, like one of 2, and then
Yeah, for both volleyball and soccer.
oh, and that's impressive too. And then for you to be like, I'm coming out here and I'm playing soccer and I am extremely confident that I can come out and play for this team. You know what I mean? So yes, that was another way you defied the odds, and that was impressive because, like I said, for someone who just carries themselves so like upright and just gentle, to go on the field and be like bow 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 and surprise everybody.
Yeah, everyone was so, they were like, "Do you play soccer?"
And I was like, yes.
I was
and
like,
I could cheer you
yeah.
on.
And y'all, like, I played soccer, travel soccer, longer than I played travel volleyball.
Yeah, I was impressed when you told me that.
I was like, soccer was my first sport.
That's actually impressive. And that's why I said of many sports, because you did basketball as well.
Yeah, basketball, I'm not a big fan of me playing basketball. Like, I'll watch it, it's fun. I'm not that good. Defense, though, I got that locked down.
That defense is important.
But shooting, no, please don't pass me the ball.
I was watching this thing. It was like there are 4 types of basketball girls, and it was like there was one. They were like, she's good at shooting, but don't pass it. Don't let her dribble. Just wait until she's ready to shoot. I gotta show you that later. Yes, and then as you mentioned earlier, first of all, in college, getting your bachelor's, computer science. Yeah. Computer science. Again, a few of many black women.
Actually, the craziest thing about that was our I would say like the main class that we had was about 7 people. 4 were girls, 3 were black women.
3 were black women, and there are friends.
Yeah.
One of them is you. So it was 3 of y'all.
Yeah, it was me, and then Jaden and Sanaya.
Literally, like, again, I was like, yes.
Shout out to y'all.
Shout out to y'all. Like, literally, our girls are. But yes, literally. So another one. So literally, all throughout college, I just saw you being like walking and just going, and that was just good, and I love that too. And so now another way, you're getting your doctorate.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It was time for us to all like decide and figure out what exactly was gonna happen, what we're gonna do after college. She was like, I'm gonna start applying. She had to start applying a long time ago, actually. You started applying when?
Well, I found out, I would say October, November, and
yes,
most of the programs you had to apply by, I would say like December to, I think the latest was like June.
Mm-hmm. And we graduated in May of 2024. So at this time you were like, I'm not sure, and you were so chill about it, and you were telling all of us. I remember telling me and Andre, you were like, I have like 3 options, I'm waiting to hear back from this one. But when you said this one, I was like, do it. I was like, do it. I didn't even like second guess. I was like, do it. I really wanted you to do it, because I was just like, I know you could. But then we met up a few weeks ago, and when I saw you, I called my aunt, and I was like, it's crazy to see her after, like, she moved in, she in another state, like, she actually did it. Like, to see you after is like, whoa, this actually happened. You were like, I accepted it, and then you were like, I'm about to go, and you literally just like gone. And that's impressive too, because you know, it was a lot of things that could have stopped you from going there. Mm-hmm. And one of the main things was, you know, really difficult. But I was just like, it really shows a lot of strength and faith, because it's hard to just get up and go, especially when you don't know what's going to happen, or like, you know what I mean? And it's a whole new place. And like, had you ever gone there before?
No.
She packed her car.
Well, okay. Before I moved in, I went there one time to actually see the school, and like,
yeah, but like when you applied.
But when I applied, no, I've never been over there.
It's impressive. Like, when you decided like, I'm gonna do this, did you like, because there was a lot of things going on.
Yeah, there was a lot.
So how did you decide to like go?
So at first I was like, I'm not going to grad school, like, I'm just gonna start working. Well, we had to take a course for graduation, professional development, just, you know, talking about GRE test, talking about grad school, talking about getting jobs, your resume, all that type of stuff. And I was like, this is pointless. Like, I'm not going to grad school. I was like, girl, you sure? But
I was like, I have other plans.
no, for real.
Apply.
I'm like, why am I here? But anyway, so our professor gave us about, I would say, 5 to 6 different colleges that you didn't have to take your GRE for. And I was like, okay.
GRE?
Yeah, it's like just a general test. It's like taking your SAT, but...
Oh, okay.
So I applied to just 2. I was going to apply to 3, but the other one, I called them. They said that they had their application up, but they didn't. So I just wasn't going to go there. Plus, it was like very far. I applied to... So I applied to the last 2. I got into 1. The other one, I never heard back from. But, yeah, so once I got into that school, I visited and loved it. I was like, ooh, the city. Even though I haven't even been, I be in the house, y'all. I need to actually see what they got going on. But
You were excited. You were like, I can't wait to go there. You were like, I'm about to find a church. That was the first thing. You were like, I'm about to find a church. When I get there, I'm going to find a group. I'm going to find some black women.
And I did. I haven't found a church yet. I found many churches. I don't know which one I want to be my home church. But I found a group of black women. It's a black women Bible study. Shout out to y'all.
She showed me y'all's pictures.
Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. And so that was like really good because we don't have a lot of spaces just for black women to be able to fellowship and like have Bible study together, build community, talk about different things that if you were to talk to another Christian, they might not understand it because they don't have those same experiences as you. So it's always good to have someone that has the same experiences. So I love that. But still, I would always say, just my opinion, that you should always have like a very diverse group of people, so you are getting different cultures, different experiences, different ideas.
That's good. I love that. And that's important because I feel like even what you said of they didn't have as many spaces like for black women, but when I was talking about all the odds you defied, that was pretty much you being a black woman in a lot of spaces where we're not prevalent in. How has that been? And I feel like that's such an important topic to like walk in your purpose and to also say like I belong here and I can take up space. So how do you feel like you've like done that?
In general,
yeah, like because you were in classes where
I'm practically the only one of maybe 2 or 3 now in grad school.
Oh wow. Even in grad school?
Wow. I'm like, maybe it's the classes, I don't know, but
like you said, it's super important to be able to first of all have a mindset that like other cultures matter as well, and to be open to learning more about that. And so how do you feel like you tend to navigate spaces like that? Because it's not always easy for people to be able
it's really not
to walk in and be like, hey guys, how do you do it?
So y'all, usually what I do is I find the most outgoing person and I'll start talking to them, so then eventually they'll introduce me. But still, like, if I don't see that, I'll usually just eventually find my way somehow. Like, I don't know how, I usually just end up with people if like I don't be introduced to them. So thank the Lord, because he knows I do not like talking to people. I'm really like just quiet. Like, I'll just watch, like, y'all go do your thing, like, I'm okay. But I'm trying to get out of that a little bit more. But most of the time, navigating spaces as a black woman, I kind of have to really observe. That's why I feel like that's why I'm so quiet sometimes, because I have to observe like the environment I'm in to understand, okay, are these people here to help me or hurt me or just in the middle? So I have to then find out if anyone's on my team. And then from there, I also have to make sure like this is healthy for me, because a lot of the times I feel as Black women, we give until we're just like drained out. And I don't want to do that. So I still, have my boundaries and, let people know that yes, we are different, might have different opinions, but we're all the same. And just because my experience is different from yours doesn't mean that yours is less or mine is less. It's just that we're just two different people, and we have to somehow be able to interact with each other.
Yes. And I love that because I was thinking about it. Like a lot of times, and especially after like studying abroad, and in America, we don't give each other credit, like just in general nature, like culture, credit for like how diverse it is in America. Like there are so many differences that should be celebrated. Like yes, we do have different hair, yes, we do have different food, different cultures, different traditions. Like we don't give each other enough space to be like, okay girl, like teach me something or let me learn something from you. So I feel like that's really good to just like observe. Cool. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out which one I should talk about next.
Well, I don't have a card, so
there's 3 topics that I wanna touch on. So tell me 1, 2, or 3.
2.
Church girl, parents, and ministry, because that's one thing that we have in common as well.
So my mom is a minister, and we grew up in a Pentecostal church, so catching the Holy Spirit, like running around the church, speaking in tongues, like that's normal, like that's in Pentecostal, like that's normal. And so when I was younger, like I was really used to that, and I got baptized at that church when I was young. And then eventually, I forgot what happened, but like we stopped going to church for like a period of time. And I had met my godparents, and they started they had been going to a church. And one time I had to go with them, and I was like, oh mom, like I went to this church, like you should go. Like it was pretty cool. And we all ended up joining the church. I was a praise dancer.
Ooh, okay, praise dancer.
Yeah, like
I love
middle school, high school me, I was going to church, but I was just like, mom, like I don't want to be here. Like, okay, like I can believe in God, like when I'm an adult, like I'm a kid, let me be a kid. Like I was like,
I thought she was exempt.
Yeah, I was like, this is for when I'm like an adult. I'm not an adult, like, so I don't need to do this. Like that was my thinking. So a lot of the times I wouldn't resonate that much with some of the sermons, but sometimes I'd be like, ooh, that's a little okay.
That might relate to me.
Yeah, I'm like, is he talking about me? Is this play about us? But yeah, so and then after that, my mom's still a minister, so whenever she gets to preach, I'll go see her. And yeah, I think that's really it. That was my like upbringing.
And so when did you, because you said you had that mentality of like, I'm a child, like
why am I here?
Let me leave. But when was that? And you were also doing praise dances as well. Was it around the same time that you had that same mindset, or was it after?
Praise dancing, I love to dance, so like that was fun. But there are sometimes I would basically, my mom, she's like, no, you're going to church today and you are praise dancing today, like you don't have an option.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't like you loved dancing, but it was also not your choice whether you went to church or not.
Yeah, like it was fun sometimes.
What was that main point? Because it's like our parents believed and we grew up with that background, but at a certain point we had to make a choice. So when was your when did your mindset shift to be like, okay, this is for me?
In the pandemic 2020, I was like, I really need to take this seriously, because before then it was like moments where I was like, okay, like God is real, like yeah, I believe in him, but I would still be doing stuff I'm not supposed to be doing. And 2020, during that lockdown, girl,
tell me.
I tell you, I did not want to be there. I wanted to leave the house. It was bad, y'all. I was very, very depressed. And like at the time I couldn't see my friends, like I couldn't see nobody. I was like, I do not want to be here. And I remember I was praying, and I can't remember about what, but I was like, God, like, let me know that you're here. Like I'm trying. I need to give you a chance, because literally I can't do anything else. Like, you are the only thing that I know that could help me right now. And I started to get better after that, and I also started reading my word. I started repenting for stuff that I was doing, even stuff I was like, God, even if I didn't know I was doing, like I repent for that too. And I was starting to turn away from that, but then things kind of, let down. People could start going outside, starting college, and a pandemic. So then I didn't have that much time to like read my word. I was like always doing work, always on the phone, trying to do labs. And then I would say 2022, July of 2022, can't remember the day. Specifically, like I wish I can remember the day, but I cannot forget. It was July 2022. Y'all. I was with this boy. I prayed one night, I was like, if he is not for me, let me know. I had a locket, y'all, on my neck.
It was serious.
So I went to the kitchen, and I felt something fall, and I was like, what is that? And it was my locket, and I was like, how did this come off? I was like, coincidence, like, it's okay. Coincidence. Y'all, I prayed the same exact prayer, and I actually went to go see him, and it fell off right in front of him. And I was like, oh. And he was like, oh, like this is happening like what, however many, like the atoms, whatever. He was some science thing. And I was like, yeah, so funny. But I really knew like, oh, it was time to leave. So I left. And that summer I had stayed in college because I had an internship where like my college was at. So I was staying there over the summer, and I was at that time in a Bible study group, and all of us in the group, we started doing stuff over the summer.
I remember that summer because you
like, I'm at Hill City. I was like, she's at Hill City.
Yes, girl.
For summer.
I was like, I want to be at Hill City.
It was so much fun to be around them because I needed that time, and I was really in my word. Like, I remember the first like word that he gave me that I really like understood, and I was like, whoa. I was like, this means that. And I was going, like, I got the Hebrew, I got the Greek. I'm trying to find out all these different meanings because I'm like, I'm really trying to understand. Like, I'm not just trying to read the Bible to cherry pick or to help my knowledge, but I want to like dig deeper because I feel like a lot of people now, they're just reading the Bible like surface level, so they know what it says, but they're not doing that deep dive. And I feel like that's why we have kind of like this disconnect right now. Whew. Yeah, girl, that was a lot.
I know, like, I was like, wait, like, I had to take a deep breath because like, but 2020 is wild to think, like, we were all in different places, and so it's like interesting to hear somebody else's perspective, but even how like recent it is, but how deep into God you like really was like, nah, I need to get all in.
Yeah, I was like,
and so
I need to
you feel like that was your moment for you where you were like,
yeah, it was.
I believe in Jesus, and like
that was my moment in 2020. Praying, I was like, God, I need you. And then I would say 2022 was when I started my journey for real.
that's good.
Yeah.
It was like I started my journey. No, because it's a journey.
It is a journey. Like when I tell y'all,
It's a journey.
like people just think, oh,
You believe in God and it's good.
yeah, and it's like, do you know the stuff I went through?
Yes. Oh my gosh, you know the song about Mary Mary? I love that. It's like it's the God in me. Like this.
It's the God in me.
Yeah. It's the God in me. Think I'm so fresh.
You think I'm so clean. You think I'm so sweet.
And then there's what they don't see. Wait, what is it? What they don't see. What they don't know is
When you go home and get behind closed doors, then you hit the floor and wish.
can't see. Is she on her knees?
Please don't get copyrighted.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna stop it there. Stop there, because I can go a whole song. But that song talks about it. It's like, of course, like we do carry ourselves in a way where it's like a respectable way and a respectable manner of like, I love God and that's what I stand by. And that doesn't take away the fact that it's not an easy walk. Because it is a journey and you still grow and learn and have questions and you ask questions a lot because it's a lot of things that we don't know, but that's the whole reason we need him. And it's something else I was like, dang, it's so good. That prayer, the prayer to God, because that same thing happened to me and it's crazy. And I was
Amazon shipping, like next day in that same week. Like,
oh, that was good.
it's that prayer prime.
No, yeah. No, literally. Prime prayer. Yes, that's true. And like there are times where you'll pray and it'll take like a little while and God will be like, it's in my word. But that prayer that you were talking about, like, God show me. And especially like I feel like I haven't talked about this publicly, I don't think, ever. So this is kind of like, yeah. But in college, I was in a relationship and I had a prayer, the same prayer. I was leading and stuff and I was like, okay, God, please help him love you more so he can treat me better. And then I had another prayer and I was like, okay, God, like, show me, like, help me love him, help us love each other so we can get, like, help the relationship. And then I was like, okay, God, like, just show me what you want me to do, whatever it is, I'll do it. And I will never forget. We were in the same exact space, like him across the room, me over there. I kid you not, God was like, break up with him. While I'm looking at this person, and a tear dropped and I wiped it quick because I was like, a year and some change right now. And I was like, whoa. And that's the moment where I was like, because how do you tell somebody, like, whole time they don't even know I'm praying this hard because I'm trying to figure out really, like, how can I follow God more but have what I want? Mm-hmm. And it doesn't work like that. Like you said, the locket fell off. God said it has to go. And I was like, oh, I guess I did pray that prayer, but like, I gotta let it go. You know what I mean? And that was the moment where I remember like little tiny things that people would say, because I was a crew leader, and I would tell people, I mean, they would just like throw hints, and I would be like, it would just be quick too, like, oh yeah, sounds like unequally yoked, and I'll be like, and I would go study, and I'll be like, and then and then I would be like, and then they were like, oh yeah, if you ever have to choose between them or God, of course choose God. And I was like, And then I was fasting at the same time. I was fasting this one time and they didn't know either. And I was like, whoa. And I was like, this is going to be hard. But then I remember this one night I was in my room and I had finally ended it, and I was like, okay, bet. It was just me. And I laughed. And I was like, I can't even be mad at God. Because I'm the one, he gave me opportunities over that whole entire year. Friends who were guiding me, people who prayed beside me, people who discipled me. And I held on. And that can go into our next question, even about like trauma and childhood trauma as well, because I feel like that can lean into the reason why we feel like we have to hold on to this that's hurting us. You know what I mean? And that's like, I think that was the biggest thing for me, where I was like, this is something that like I feel like I kind of can't let go, God. But then I was like, wait, I'm hurting and I have to let this go, and I'm sad, and this is like not what I want to do, and I love this person. And then it was like, well, if you love this person, then you will love them enough to break up with them so they can love me. Yeah. And that I can love them, because I love them, God, myself, more than Ilana, you could ever. Yeah. And that was deep. And I was like, that's love, because God is love. Like that, like that's love. That's love. No, but anyways, I could go on and on about that, but I feel like that was just like so deep when you were talking about that prayer, because it's true. Like, God wants better for us, and through that healing process, when you do it with God, it's so much different. It is so different.
It really does.
Yes, because let me tell you this. People were like, oh, I had a breakup. I didn't get over that person for like 8 years or something. I was crying to God. I was like, God, I don't want to like not get over this person for the rest of my life. Yeah. I was like, what do you mean it's going to take 4 years? I only got 2 left in college. Like, what you mean? I have to see this person. But like, literally doing it God's way, he restored me. Worship nights, friends like you, prayers, praying over me. Like, obviously I still messed up, and I still fell short, and I still fall short, and I have fallen short, but like, God healed me from a breakup. And I feel like you were saying, when you like it, I feel like today it's like, oh, like it's like that revenge culture or whatever. Yeah. But it's like, no, you have to have that heal culture, because you have to heal right. That was good. So yeah, but like a little bit more about how childhood trauma in general can affect how we see our relationship with God. I want you to start with this one, because you were like, we need to talk about this. So I want to hear what you got to say.
Okay, so my whole take on childhood trauma in general, it can do one of two things. It can either make you mad at God, or it can make you closer to God. And I feel like a lot of the times, like, you have people that have church hurt. They don't come back to church. So they give up on God. Really, they're giving up on religion, because those are just, sinful people, and they don't know any better. So that's one thing. Another thing is, whatever trauma, whatever it is, depending on what it is and how you handle it, if you have, it can make you feel like you can't really trust God, because the people that he put in your life, like, you can't trust them, so how can I trust you if you put me in this situation? Like, a lot of people think like that, and I had to, at one point I was like, God, like, why is all this stuff happening to me? Like, all this bad stuff is happening to me, my family, and it just feels like I just can't catch a break. And like, I cannot catch a break. Like, please let me get a sip of water.
No, literally.
What now that I know better, what I started doing is realizing things happen for a reason, and be thankful even in your suffering, because you never know what that will do for other people, whether it maybe adds to your testimony, and now your testimony is saving thousands of lives. Like, that stuff had to happen to you so you could be impactful to other people. And I think we have to change how we view trauma, and also how we deal with it with our relationship with God, by just trusting him, having faith. Like, he doesn't want anything bad to happen to you, but we live in a world of sin. It's you were born into iniquity, so you have to just accept the fact, like, things will happen to you, maybe things won't, but you can't blame God for any of the stuff that's happening, because he has power over everything, so he should be able to stop it. Sometimes he allows you to go through things just so that you will grow or you will help other people. So instead of internalizing that, just bring it to God so that he can help you through that too. Don't try to do it yourself. Yes, it's gonna be hard. It's gonna be impossible. You have to give it to God, because if you don't, you're just gonna hold on to that, and it's just gonna maybe even harden your heart, and now you're lost. So.
Yes, and it talks about that. I'm thinking about my Bible because I need the specific scripture, but it talks about that in James, in the book of James. It says, consider it pure joy when you go through trials, because it increases endurance.
Yeah.
And obviously, like, be in your word and double check and read up on that, because I didn't name the specific scripture. But I remember when I was reading James, I was like, whoa, like, you like literally consider it pure joy when you go through things. And like you said, can I get a break?
Please.
But like, no, consider it pure joy, not because Ilana did something. It's not about you.
It's like you have to have that endurance. You have to learn something, so you're gonna have to go through that. And it might take years. It might take a few seconds.
Literally.
Are you going to be able to handle? What I always ask people is, if God never gives you anything ever again, will you still love him? Will you still be happy? Because if
that's a good question.
If you say no, that means your relationship with him is, I'm not going to say not there, but not as strong as it needs to be, because you don't have trust in him unless he's doing something for you. When he doesn't have to do anything for us.
Yeah.
He could just say, oh, y'all, dead, gone.
No, literally. And I love that you asked that question, because one of the questions I always ask myself, I'm like, if God took every single thing, like, in my life right now away, would I still love him? Would I still, like, praise him? Mm-hmm. And sometimes if it's no, I'm like, I gotta get rid of some stuff. I gotta start fasting. I have to reprioritize everything, because if I'm not satisfied with him alone, my priorities are misplaced. Mm-hmm. Because it's true. And like, for me, like you were saying, that's why I was so hyped when you was like, we need to talk about this, because I feel like for me, I didn't even know what trauma was a thing. Like, I remember high school, I started going to therapy, started realizing a lot of things were actually like trauma, and I was like, that wasn't normal? And I thought they were just normal things, but when I started realizing they were trauma, I was like, wow. And I just was like, this is deep. But then I realized, like you said, how it can easily shape our relationship with God, and especially church hurt. Because like, growing up obviously in the church and going to church and knowing the word, and then seeing the different patterns of like trauma, and even in a church setting, and maybe not even in a church setting, but just people who talk about the word, and then you experience something different. I feel like for me, I kind of struggled with that a little bit, because I was just like, if they say this is who God is, then if this is how God is, I don't want anything to do with it. I can't do that. But then I started reading the word, and I was like, whoa. When we open it up and start to dissect it for ourselves is when you start to tap in and be like, let me actually look and see what it says. Or I have two options: turn away or just like dig deeper. Even if I'm unsure or my faith isn't fully there, you can still learn. That's the point.
Yeah, because like even that, like when you were saying like, oh, if I love this more, like I need to let it go, that's how you get idols, and you don't even know you got an idol. Because so many things can be idols. It could be you want to be like, I don't know, TikTok famous. It could be you want to pursue a PhD, and like you're just consumed in that. Different things can be idols. It can be more than just people and things. It could be your mindset. Like, It could be your mindset.
Oh no, your mindset.
It could be your mindset. That's an idol. Maybe
That's wild.
because I feel like a lot of, I'm not gonna say a lot. There are some people that are so caught up in what's right, how they think, how other people should think, and they'll argue with you, or they're gonna try to prove themselves right, and that's not a good thing to have all the time.
And also, when you said mindset, that was wild, because in college, that's one thing that God told me. Like, I had to surrender my thoughts.
Yeah,
I was like, I have to surrender, because I was like, I remember we fasted with crew and everything, because I was doing leadership in general, but crew did a whole fast, and I remember they said something. Everybody was saying surrender, and then every time I would talk to a different person about my life, they were like, oh, it seems like you need to surrender that to God. What does it mean to surrender? Like, what does that even mean? And it was so wild, because I didn't know, like, I was supposed to surrender my thoughts as well. The way I'm thinking, the fears I have, even like the idol of marriage, even the idol of having kids, idol of comfort. I was like, whoa. And that's a daily thing.
you gotta die to yourself daily.
Die to yourself daily. Every single day. And that was wow. I was like, my thoughts? Like, oh my gosh, that's good.
Yeah,
That's good.
like you saying that, because even now I'm like, God, like, you really gotta take like this whole marriage and having kids away from me right now, because I'm beginning to get consumed in the idea, and I'm like, okay, is it you, and I'm like, I just need to chill out. Like, he'll tell me who it is, because I'm seeing all my people from home getting married, having babies. Mind you, we're like early 20s, so
Yeah.
I'm like, I have a lot of time. So, just focus on what I need to focus on. First, myself, my relationship with God, everything that I need to do, and then a man. And I have to do that daily, because if I don't,
Daily.
next thing you know, I'm like, oh, we would have great kids together.
No,
like, let me stop.
Daily. Because it's true, like, we get so caught up. Like, for me, we had this conversation over lunch, but we were talking about the fact that we have to really trust God, because it's like, okay, we could have everything we want right now. We can go on our phones right now and put all of the negative desires and thoughts from our hearts and have every single thing that we list. But will that be good for us?
No.
So we should die to ourselves and pray and repent
Every single day.
because I've been in situations where I was like, and I really acted on those thoughts, and I was like, whoa, help me, Jesus, get out of this. Literally, like, it's not safe. And it's true, because I've been in some situations where I was like, wow, I really dug myself. And that's why I said I couldn't even be mad at God, because God and evil are separate. He's holy. So the things that I desire, yes, like, when we desire things that are in God's will, and we're like, God, and we bring things to him, even the things that we like really want and we really need, like, we have to bring that to him. And he cares about that. He will sit with us. Like, he's with us. He's with us, like, comforting, and like our salvation is there. But he's a good God. Like, when we choose our own way, then there's only one path you could be going down, and that's destruction. So that's actually deep. So yeah. You gotta think about it. It's like,
I'd
when
be
you
like,
really know. And it's hard, because I feel like that's the season I'm in. It's not hard to say yes to God, but it's hard to die to myself every single time.
It really is, because I'm like, I could either not listen to God and get everything I want, or listen to God and either get it, or maybe wait a little bit, or wait a long time. But it's like, you gotta trust God, because if it's not in his plan, it's not his plan for you. You have to change your desire. You have to ask God to change your desires to what
Line with his.
as for his will for you. I just think about that all the time. I'm like, wow, like he showed me how the world worked. Not this song, but yeah.
I am who I am.
And that's why I'm like, oh, if you want God to reveal himself to you, he will. So always ask, whether you believe or you're like, I don't know, ask and you will receive. Because you can't ask and then not have any faith. You have to ask and seek. If you're not seeking him, you won't find him.
That's deep.
So if you want to know more or just know about him, seek him, because he will reveal himself to you.
Yeah. What came to my mind is when you said that, I remember I was in a Young Life camp and I went to a lot of those, but at every single one they had this illustration where they had two chairs and one was turned this way, like me facing you, but your chair was facing the wall. And they were like, you have to turn the chair around, because God is always facing us, but it's whether we want to like turn around. And that just came to my mind, but it was always the illustration, and it's just like makes sense. Like he wouldn't, like he's such a gentle God, but he is so powerful. So I think that's how it gets miscrewed, where it's like he's a powerful God. He has like, no, like he's so kind. Like he's so like, he loves us. He's so compassionate, so chill. Like I can talk to him like, God, look, today is not today. Help me with like this job, this space, this grocery store, anything. Because everything we need him. Like literally getting dressed in the morning, like literally making my bed, making my breakfast, everything. So yeah, that's good. So our last
Oh, not the last question.
not last,
Okay.
but it's the last segment,
Okay.
last section, but not last podcast, Lord willing.
Lord willing.
I have a lot more.
A lot more. We need a lot more.
We need a lot more, Jesus.
We still got stuff we gotta unpack.
So half of that stuff we didn't even really unpack.
We just touched the surface. I feel like we
touched the surface, yeah, for sure. Okay, so Peripateo. So Peripateo is a Greek word, and it means to walk. So walk appears in the New Testament many times. Okay, so peripateo, peri means around and pateo means to walk. Describe how someone typically walks in the Bible, or how somebody typically like goes about doing their walk with God, or walking by faith and not by sight, or actions. So that was 2 Corinthians 5:7. So yeah, so in this shoe, as we conclude, there's something for you to walk away with.
Okay.
For all of us to walk away with. This is for all of us. This is for me. This is for us.
As we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28.
Oh, can you read that again? It was too good. Let me read it.
Oh, okay.
And we know. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have been called according to his purpose. Romans 8:28. That's deep.
Yeah. That's
deep.
And going back to what we were saying before.
She's saying going back.
Yeah, I'm going back again. how all things work for your good. Like when we were talking about the childhood trauma in general, like all that, that stuff happens to make you better. It's gonna be for your good. I'm not saying that whatever happened to you is okay, but I'm saying the lessons, the journey from that, forgiving God, possibly trusting God, having faith in Him, those experiences will heighten that. And think about it, like if you had everything that you want in the world, why would you need God? Why would there be a point to have a God? If I could go get married, have some kids, have the house I want, have the car,
and without God,
like
I don't want it.
Exactly.
I don't want it.
It's like God is so good, and everything that He does is for your good.
Yeah. And I like that too. All things work together for the good of those who love God. Because so many times when I was going through stuff, I was, like you said, it's like so easy to be like, why me? Like at a young age, just certain things I went through, I was just like, really? Like, why me? But now, there are certain things that I've gone through that I've been like, why me? Where I tell it now in spaces where people are like, it's not only me. And I'm like,
you're not alone.
But wait, like, because the journey that I had to go through to be able to be in this moment to witness the goodness of God is wild. Because the moments I was just like, nah, I'm done. And then God was like, no, I have something for you. But we have to really trust God that He knows what He's doing with the rest of what He already has started. Because what's that one? Can you look it up?
Yeah, I can look it up on the Bible app, y'all. Cause
no, this is a shame. No, my Bible's literally in there, but I'm on.
it's okay.
It's okay. Yeah, don't worry. I'll be marking that thing.
But always double check anybody.
Yeah, always make sure you read the word. It's never a bad thing. Even us.
What was the what it all works together for your good?
When God starts a good work, He will bring it out to completion. That's why I need my Bible. Just type in what I said and then put scripture. And this is a good example of how you can literally get, and that's the thing too, that access that we have, like we take that for granted. Some people don't even have access to a Bible app.
So I think in China the Bible is banned.
And not even in their own language. Like, I'm not talking about China specifically, but like there are so many other languages that don't have it in the Bible.
Philippians 1:6.
Philippians 1:6.
Yeah, being confident of this, that He who begun a good work in you will carry it on to completion until the day of Christ Jesus.
Yes!
Victory is mine. Victory is mine. I told Satan to get thee behind. Victory today is mine.
Okay.
Wow. And that's a good way to end it. The end of something greater.
Are you gonna do the outro?
It's Ilana.
I'm Melody.
And we are out.
Bye.
Bye, guys.